She only asked for leftover food, but what happened next changed everything. It was a crisp autumn evening in New York City, the kind where the golden glow of streetlights made even the worn-out sidewalks look warm and inviting. Outside a small Italian restaurant on the corner of 5th and Main, Marco Santori was locking up for the night when he heard a soft, hesitant voice. "Excuse me, sir. I don't mean to bother you, but, do you have any leftover food?" Marco turned to see a woman standing near the entrance. She was in her late 30s, with tired eyes and a thin frame that spoke of hunger far beyond just one missed meal. Her coat was too thin for the season, and her hands trembled slightly as she clutched the straps of a worn-out bag. His first instinct was to say no. After all, he'd just finished throwing away the day's unsold food, a policy he hated but followed nonetheless. But something about her, perhaps the quiet dignity in her voice or the way she avoided meeting his gaze, made him pause. "Wait here," he said, disappearing inside. A few minutes later, he returned with a steaming plate of pasta and a warm roll. "Come inside," he urged. "It's too cold to eat out here." The woman hesitated, then stepped inside, the warmth of the restaurant wrapping around her like a long-lost embrace. She sat in a corner, savoring each bite as if it were a rare gift. Marco watched from behind the counter, curiosity gnawing at him. After a few moments, he approached her. "What's your name?" She swallowed her last bite before answering. "Angela." "What's your story, Angela?" She hesitated but saw the sincerity in his eyes. "I used to be a teacher," she said softly. "3rd grade. But life, well, it has a way of unraveling when you least expect it. A divorce. A sudden illness. Medical bills. A job lost. A cycle of bad luck that had left her homeless, wandering from shelter to shelter, trying to find her way back to a life she barely recognized anymore." Marco felt a lump rise in his throat. His own mother had been a teacher. He thought of how she had struggled after his father passed, working long hours to provide for him. What if someone had turned her away in her darkest moments? An idea formed in his mind. "Angela, would you be willing to help out here for a bit?" he asked. "Nothing strenuous, just a little organizing, maybe helping with customers." Her eyes widened. "Are you serious?" He nodded. "It's not much, but it's a start. And dinner's on the house every night." Tears welled in her eyes, but she quickly wiped them away. I'd love that. A ripple effect of kindness. Days turned into weeks, and Angela became a fixture at Marco's restaurant. She cleaned tables, greeted customers, and even helped with the books, her past as a teacher making her a natural at organizing. Word spread about her story, and soon, regulars began offering more than just kind words. Someone helped her find temporary housing. Another connected her with an organization that helped displaced educators. One evening, Marco handed her an envelope. "Open it," he said. Inside was a check, her first official paycheck. Angela stared at it, then at him. I don't know what to say." "You don't have to say anything," he replied. "Just promise me one thing, when you're back on your feet, pass it on. Help someone else the way others have helped you." A year later, Angela stood in front of a classroom once more, a new job, a new home, and a new purpose. On her desk was a small note, one she kept as a reminder of the night everything changed. Kindness costs nothing, but it changes everything. And it all started with a simple request for leftover food.